Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. In this video I would like to show you how to expose a USB device to a virtual machine over Ethernet, over IPv4 or IPv6 on FreeBSD. Okay, let's do this. Alright, so to do this we're going to need a virtual machine running on QEMU. So we're going to start one for now. We need to download the image from FreeBSD. All right, so this is there. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to create a directory called VM and going to truncate, let's say 20 gigabytes on FreeBSD.img. So this creates a nice hard disk here. And I'm going to start a QEMU to install FreeBSD into this image. So QEMU sys x86. Let's select 2 GB of RAM. Let's actually put 4 GB. CD-ROM is going to go for the previously downloaded distribution. Release AMD. Let's go for DVD1. It doesn't really matter that much. Let's say that we want to boot from the D drive, meaning from this CD-ROM. We are going to add a drive where the file is going to be equal to the FreeBSD image, and the interface is virt.io. We're going to use SMP2, VGA standard, and network interface user. So let's start the machine. Okay, not boot, but boot. Let's zoom with the best fit and let's start the machine. From here, we just installed the machine normally because I just want a simple machine where I can show the USB being offered over an IP address. So, okay, the system has been installed, and before I continue, I just want to show one thing. My QEMU has one thing that you need to have to get this running. So devices, help, and let's do a pipe for less, or maybe not. Yeah, no, we do a pipe less. Not devices, device. And here I'm going to show search for redirection. And here we see, this is the important thing. We have in the miscellaneous devices, let's go a little bit up. Okay, the MISC devices, we find here USB-redirection, the redirection. In the standard QEMU that comes in pre-installed with operating system, this is not there. So what you need to do is go to user ports, emulators QEMU, make config, and here you see that I have enabled the USB-redirection, USB device network redirection experimental. And yeah, you need to recompile QEMU for that. I'm now not going to show how to do this, but it's relatively simple. You go make config and make, then after you do make install, and QEMU should be installed with the USB redirection enabled. So let's go back here and let's go to our prompt. Here, now we can take the drive here. So we are going to boot from drive C. Oops, need to do it again. So boot from drive C, and we don't need a CD-ROM anymore. And actually, let's lower the memory a little bit. I don't need so much memory. So 2 Gs are enough. Boot from drive C, and let's just make sure that the machine boots correctly. Now let's log into the machine, and if config, yes, we have the machine here running. It's currently at 10.02.15. And let's see if which devices are there. So USB config, and there are no devices, no USB devices. So now what I want to do is I want to, I have here one device, which is an FPGA. I did a separate video on that. And I want to expose this device to this machine here over Ethernet. For that, I'm going to go to a desktop. So this is a macOS machine. I can do a brew install usbredir. This is already installed, so I don't think that there is anything going to happen here. And as you can see, so I can type in USB redirect and I get here the options. So the thing I need to do is I need to identify the device. In FreeBSD, I can do this with system profiler, SP, USB, data type. And I see here that there is a device from C-Speed that I want to expose. It has the vendor ID 0403, product ID 6010, future technologies. And yeah, let's expose this device. So we do USB redirect as 0000, port 4000, device 0403 6010, and now the server is running, so it's attached in macOS to the device 0403 with the product ID 6010, and it's exposing the device on the port 4000. Let's go back to the QEMU machine and let's power off the machine, and let's get the command back. So after this, all these things, we need a device QEMU XHCI with ID HXCI. We need a char dev socket. This is going to connect to the server. The ID is going to be redir 0. Host is going to be 192.168.2.187, port 4000. So this is the machine where the device is connected. We need another device, USB redir, char dev redir 0, ID USB redir 0. And let's put the device in the bus xhci.0. And hopefully I did not type anything wrong. So let's go. Yep, it's booting. So let's increase this a little bit. We just saw passing by the XXCI, the USB interface, and C-Speed USB debugger. We see it already there. So let's confirm this. We can do it with USB config. And there we have UGen 0.1 XHCI is the Future Technology Devices International. I'm already foreseeing some questions in the comments, whether you can do this in VirtualBox or do this in Beehive, and my answer is I currently do not know. So I need to investigate this further. But I can tell you that this is possible to do in Proxmox. So this machine is running on my server. So here, as we can see, so this machine has it's limited to 2 GB of RAM. It only has one CPU, so the machine itself is not very powerful. And and this machine is running QEMU inside it. But there is one thing that I know that it's possible to do. It's which is run the USB redirection to a Proxmox virtual machine. So let's see that. So first, let's just power off the machine here, the QEMU. And one of the things that you notice is when the machine exits, the USB redirect also exits. So here you can see my server, which is a relatively powerful one running my machine where I do work for porting software on FreeBSD. And I have here a small machine, which is just with one CPU core and has only 2 gigabytes of RAM. Yeah, I'm going to use this to show how I can redirect the USB also to this machine. But for that, I need to power down the machine. So I just power down the machine in the console. And now you might be searching for some options here on adding maybe a USB device or so. No, unfortunately, this is not available here. So we need to go to the main machine and we need to pop a shell. And now I'm just going to edit the file etc pve QEMU-server 101, which is the machine that I want to want this redirection to be done. And as you can see, I've commented out already. So this is the machine with the settings that here. And yeah, I've added the arguments, and it's similar to what we've seen before. Device usbredir, chardev socket, and here with the host 192.168.2.187 port 4000. And let's just save this, and in this case let's just exit. Let's go back to Proxmox and let's start the machine. Now the machine is not starting, so before we do this, of course, we need to do another thing. I've completely forgot about that, which is to restart the USB redirect. So once we do that, we can see that Proxmox starts. And maybe it showed already something, I don't know, it was a little bit too fast, but USB config, and we see here, so we have a couple of things. We have the hub, we have a tablet, so this is probably something for the mouse, we have some NECs, etc., and we have the future technology devices. This is the one that we had also last time, and yeah, this does the redirection on Proxmox. Now you might be wondering if if it is possible to redirect from one FreeBSD machine to another FreeBSD machine, and the answer is yes, you can also do it. So let's try to do that. For this, I'm going to connect to the machine over RDP and start a terminal. All right. So go as root and user ports, network, and USB redirect. So why am I doing this? We can just pkg search USB redir, and I think we have a packet. Yes, USB redir 0.8.0_1. This works fine, but there is a small problem. If you let me first just fix this. So this is something I need to contribute back. So let's just to make first. Okay, while this is compiling, okay, it compiled already. Let me go here to the work. ls. Let's see. I like to see more the colors. And USB redir server and USB redir server.c. So if you search for bind, there is this thing here. So this is at line 345, at least at the current version, and this is not going to it's not going to work as it currently is. It works for IPv6, doesn't work for IPv4. This is a bug for FreeBSD in this software. The reason for that, if we go up here, I had debugged this already some time ago, so I looked at the code and I know already the problem is that the server address is a union that could be for v4 or v6, and this union is larger for version 6 than version 4, meaning when we go here, the size of, and if we consider we configure an an IPv4 address, we take the size of IPv6, which is the largest one that fits the union. And this makes the FreeBSD kernel have some issues with that, say return some invalid. So this needs to be done something like this. Let's see the code here a little bit up. You see, if the IPv4 address is defined, then we have server address.v4. So let's do that. Let's fix the code. So IPv4 address. If this is defined, then it's the size of server address.v4. Otherwise, it's the size of the address.v6. Okay, I have 2 question marks. This one here is a semicolon. So this means if we are doing an IPv4 address, then the size of is smaller. If this is the IPv6, otherwise, then it's there. And make. And this compiles, and that's it. So when we have it here, we can just do make install. It says it's already installed, so make the install, the previous one, and now make install. And basically it installs the usbredir server, which you can see. So it's here you can specify the -p. And now we have the IPv4. Now the program is working correctly. So as I said, I need to contribute this back to the ports. So if we say usb config, this we would have, for example, this one here, this device, and maybe the interesting thing, maybe we can serve it to another device. So let me see, usbredir server, and -- help. We put port, let's say also 4000. We put on 40000 port. The port is correct. Is correct, and we know that is 04036010. We know already this, and bind invalid argument. That's exactly the problem. So this is not doing it correctly. Let's go again to the ports. Work, find usbredir server. And it's probably this one here. Here, let's try to run this one. Yes, and copy this file to user local bin usbredir. User local sbin usbredir server. Now let's try to run this again. Oh dear, this is not working as I want. So work, okay, what is happening here? This should have been a little bit easier than this. usbredir server. So make, okay, it's compiled here, usbredir server. Okay, and now we try again from here. So, and we run it locally. So let's try /. All right, so now it's working, and what we did is copy this one here to user local sbin usbredir server. Okay, so now let's try it again like this, and it should work, I hope. No, actually not. Interesting. So let's go back, and USB redir server, and let's copy the USB redir server, USB redir server dot dash libs USB redir server. Okay, so 2/user local spin USB redir server. Okay, I hope now this time it's done. Yes. So sorry for all the trouble, but you see, sometimes, sometimes it happens. So here you see that, and it's a very small bug. I will just contribute this back to the port tree. Probably when you want to try this out, the software is already patched, so don't worry about that. But in case it's not, you can see how to fix that. If you want to look at devices, so how did I get these to 0403 and so on, you can also package install ls-usb. It's also a pkg search. I think, no, it's I'm making way too many mistakes. USB utils, pkg install USB utils. Yep. And now ls-usb. Yes, now we have it here, and let's see here. You see the ID for the future technologies on the UGen 04. I think this is also possible under cctl-a. Let's do a pipe less 0403. I think we can find it here. Exactly. And the FTDI, so there is the vendor 0403 with this product, the device class, the serial number, etc., with the TTUI name U1 and the U0. So there are two here, and you can see that in the FTDI.1 you have the C-Speed USB debugger. So this, we could have also found this information with the syscontrol. All right, so I think that's it for today. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you have some comments or suggestions, then please use the space down below. Otherwise, thanks for passing by, take care, see you next time, and bye bye.